What is mental health therapy, pro and con? Chapter 1. Therapy in general. What is therapy? I believe therapy is a money-making business venture where someone pretends they have some insight about your life that you don't have, and they are also your hired friend as long as you keep paying them that hourly fee. For people with money to burn and time to waste, it's a way for them to talk to somebody to get things off their chest, then feel better because they unloaded some of their inner angst. I come from the Daniel Boone School of Life. Nobody knows anything more about my life than me. I figure my own life out as I go along, and I don't buy into all that crap about deep, profound, hidden stuff in the subconscious mind that only a so-called psychotherapist understands. Here's the clone version of what therapy is. The goal of psychotherapy is to relieve the person's inner distress. There are different types of psychotherapy, like helping the person understand unconscious and unresolved conflicts, changing negative patterns of thinking, replace ineffective behaviors with more positive constructive behaviors. The great thing about blaming your past for your problems now is that a therapist can spend endless sessions talking about your past, which is a good way for them to make money. Is therapy gaslighting? The term gaslighting is defined as manipulate someone, by psychological means, into questioning their own sanity. It's someone trying to convince someone else that they're crazy, nuts, not sane, mentally losing it. People that make money from therapy or counseling others have a vested interest in telling people they have psychological problems. It's like the story of the barber. He always tells you you need a haircut because he wants to make money. If you're feeling weak and go to a psychiatrist or psychologist, they see you as a way to make money, not as a person who needs help. They need to make money just to break even at the end of every month, to pay office rental, the secretary, etc., not including paying their bills at their apartment or house and paying for their lavish lifestyle as a hotshot shrink. It's a noble idea. I want to help people. But it's a capitalist system we live in. The ones in private practice have to hustle to get new patients to get money. The psychologists on staff at a big organization like a hospital or a college pretty well got it made. They sit in an office, and when someone comes in, they can talk to them. Sometimes they're entertained by it. Sometimes it's a way to find new lovers. Sometimes they really want to help people. Quite often, they want to pass the buck to the next guy. The easiest way is to diagnose that person with a mental illness. It's usually anxiety disorder, depression, manic depression / bipolar, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. They give them a prescription, say your problem is not your fault. You were born with a biochemical imbalance in your brain. The patient gets the mental health drugs, which makes the drug companies money. Some of these drugs have some kind of mood-altering effects that the patient likes and gets hooked on. Or it could be a placebo effect. They think they need these drugs to stay stable. This becomes a regular process. The patient shows up to the psychiatrist's office to get a prescription filled, making the psychiatrist some money. Many patients get scared thinking they need these mental health drugs. They think that if they go off them they will become psychotic. To me, it's a big scam. I even think it's a crime to lie to weak people and control them like this in the name of your phony science of psychiatry. Some people say they benefit from the process. Of course, some weak, lonely loser gets all this attention from a psychiatrist and the pharmacist. They develop some kind of emotional loyalty to them. There has got to be a simpler way. Give somebody a decent job to give them a sense of purpose. The only way for a random person to get love is to volunteer somewhere or become an online catfish. Maybe that's the biggest problem of the human race. Nobody gets the love they want. Does therapy work? I've been through the college psychology route to discover that after all those courses I took, not one of them helped me improve my life or give me insight into my life, which is why I went into that phony field in the first place, to learn about my life. I took a bunch of disparate courses that had no unifying theme to them to help me discover what human life was about, so at the end, I had learned a bunch of meaningless stuff. I had the degrees but no insight from them. I had to figure it out for myself like all enlightened people eventually do. The world and the human race is screwed. The only beautiful, divine thing you know of and own for sure is that divine essence, soul, or feeling you feel within yourself, that is the pure you given by whatever created you, be it God or nature. The realization of that is worth much more than all the world's bullshit about life in all that garbage they call the social sciences that they brainwash all those multi-millions of naive lost souls with all the time. I had to figure life out on my own, that everybody's a loner. You will never get intimately close to another person for a sustained amount of time. People are like ships passing in the night, universes apart, each in their own fantasies. I figured out that I am my true nature given by God. I live by it by striving to release my natural energy every day. To my way of thinking, all so-called life experts, counselors, therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists, etc. are phonies, no different than the witch doctors, shamans, and priests of the past, people pretending they have some advanced knowledge about life that you don't have, like the Wizard of Oz, a chubby, little man pretending to be an all-powerful demigod. I think that if a marriage is far gone, that's it. If a couple has money and they're both willing to work on it, a third party can be the intermediary for them to talk to each other, but beyond that, it's all bullshit. I sat in classes with a bunch of people getting their doctorates in psychology. Some of them were the most introverted nerds ever. Real life is real experience followed by analysis of it. Some nerd can't become a people person with intuitive insight into people simply by taking a bunch of courses. All my life, I've felt vibes whenever I encounter anybody. I don't know how other people live. I know that's how I always lived. You can't teach that stuff in a classroom. You either got it or you don't, an empathetic intuitive feel for people. The whole system is about making money, pretending they got wisdom. It's a tragedy for enlightened people to see what's going on, but the system is in place. I can't fight this massive mental health/psychology industry based on the fraud that they have magical knowledge about people, so I ignore it and live a good life for me. Marriage counseling works best if you got money to burn and both people truly love each other, but that's rare. People usually marry for reasons other than love, like a meal ticket, personal insecurity, social insecurity, etc. Sometimes people need a third party to get them started talking to each other, but if the hate and contempt are there, it's a way for a devious marital therapist to make money, to keep stringing people along in endless therapy sessions. But if the love is gone, do the right thing and divorce. The best marital therapy is if two people say let's be honest and talk honestly. Simply ask each other what they're feeling about the relationship. Marital therapy is very expensive unless you can find a non-profit Christian counseling service or a friend willing to mediate between you two. Therapists are motivated by money. They barely know their clients. Their job is to make it look like they care about you for an hour a week while they juggle you with many other clients. They cannot possibly know you or your situation on a real personal level, so it's all basically a charade. They always ask the same questions. What is the issue between the two of you? What personal issues do you have as a person? If the two of you cannot hold a rational conversation together, get a divorce. Some therapists are so evil that they will keep couples coming back for the fee even though they know they hate each other. Clean out emotional baggage. I don't believe in emotional baggage because every day when I wake up, my life is about releasing the natural energy from my true nature plus doing positive work. To me, emotional baggage is the big money idea of the so-called psychobabble, soppy self-help industries. Convince people that their problem in life is something from their past so they can dwell on it while these therapists and psychobablists make money in therapy sessions talking about it. This is ridiculous, to give time and stress to anything that has passed. Every day is a new day to do something good to great for yourself and help other people, because there is so much need, pain, and suffering in the world while these snake oil salesmen try to convince people to waste their time mulling over their pasts to heal some imaginary wounded inner child. You only get one life. Keep living it. Don't look back. Don't mourn for anything. It doesn't solve anything. Everybody has close people and pets who die. It's part of life. That's it. Keep living to honor what they would have wanted you to do. Suppose you have failed relationships. So what? It should not make you timid about new relationships. If you want to find a loving partner, you have to keep trying. Emotional baggage websites. AskMen.com, 6 signs you're dating a woman with baggage. Azurecom.com/emotional_baggage.htm. Divorcemag.com/articles/health_being/emotional baggage.html. Emotionalbagcheck.com. Emotional-health.co.uk, Emotional Freedom Techniques. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/emotional_baggage. Feelingaware.com, learn from your feelings. girlsaskguys.com/articles/relationship/emotional-baggage-really-get-rid-of-it.html, emotional baggage, can we really get rid of it? GladysF.com, overcoming emotional baggage for women. growchangelearn.blogspot.com. healingwithgrace.co.uk. hypnoticworld.com/download/emotional_baggage.php. join-the-fund.com/feedback-aqsg.html, emotional healing quick start guide. justastuff.com/letting-go-of-emotional-baggage, letting go of emotional baggage. soulwork.net/sw_articles_ang/emotional-baggage.htm. twofuss.org/educational-content/articles/losing-your-emotional-baggage/index.aspx. vimeo.com, emotional baggage on Vimeo. yourtango.com, 5 signs you're carrying emotional baggage. Chapter 2. Is therapy is for losers? I don't believe in mental health therapy. I come from the trust yourself, no one knows more about human life than you, especially about your own life school of life. I was raised in a working class, business class family where my father ran his own business and did his own thing. We were raised to rely on ourselves and don't listen too much to all the talking heads out there because they're all full of psychobabble and dada. To me, wisdom about other people comes from knowing yourself, knowing the intuitive wisdom you were born with and watching people then analyzing what they do. You have to be out in the world dealing with people. I realized that not all people were like our family after I went to school. My father ran a business that we all worked at. Sometimes we served 200 customers a day, not to mention all my father's drinking buddies who used to hang out there. At school, I realized a lot of people don't grow up that way, so they're kinda introverted. No amount of schooling can give these people insight into how people live. This is why I don't believe in any system-sanctioned wise person who they call therapists, counselors, psychologists, etc. People have wisdom about the way life works and the way other people operate only if they examine their own lives and are extrovert enough to meet a lot of people out in the world in order to see how they operate, then come to general conclusions based on these observations. Personally, I don't believe in the use of therapists because no one out there knows anything more about my life than I do, nor can anyone help me with my problems. I carry my own cross. I don't let anything get that deep with me that it gets me down. I'm constantly moving forward. Many of our so-called psychologists are introverted nerds hiding from the real world. However, I will reserve my criticism of the mental health industry. I will provide information for the conventional view of finding a therapist if you're feeling confused, lost, or hopeless. Why weak people have therapists. Therapists are most commonly hired friends or a listening post for you or someone to unload their problems onto. Many people have a need to talk to someone about their problems. This very act alone makes them feel good. A lot of people don't have a close friend or a close spouse they can talk to about their problems. Some people don't want to burden their friends or spouse with their problems, so they hire a therapist to give them an opportunity to get some angst off their chests. Some people go to therapists for marriage counseling as a couple. Some have real, deep mental problems. They feel depressed, stressed out, desperate, etc.